Yeah, good afternoon to everyone. Is my voice audible, sir?
Yes, madam.
Yes, audible. Please go
Uh,
ahead.
Sir, good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome you all to today's session of our 2-week faculty development program on the art and science of successful proposal writing, techniques, strategies, and best practices. We are truly honored to have with us Dr. Mukesh Singh, Professor in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, Punjab. Sir brings with us a wealth of experience in academic research, project management, and funded proposals across multiple national and international agencies. The topic for today's session, research proposals for extramural grants, identifying the sponsor agency, understanding the sponsor's current interest, proposal development, and general tips, is one of the most crucial aspects of research success. A well conceived proposal not only reflects the researcher's vision and clarity of thought, but also the alignment of ideas with the priorities of the funding agency. Dr. Singh will guide us on how to strategically identify suitable sponsoring agencies, interpret their current thematic focus, and develop proposals that effectively communicate innovation, feasibility, and societal relevance. His insights and practical tips would undoubtedly help us all strengthen our research capabilities and enhance our chances of securing extramural funding. We warmly welcome you, sir, and look forward to an enlightening session. Please go ahead, sir.
Thank you, doctor. So I'll start. Give me a minute. I hope my
Yes, sir.
screen is visible.
These visibilities, yes.
Okay. So we'll start in 1 or 2 minutes. Just
Sure, sir. Okay.
Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So I think my sound is audible and the screen is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so ma'am, shall I start?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today, the topic given is to identify the projects agencies or the call agencies, and based on that, how we can communicate to that call agencies. So extramural projects grants, so that all things we'll be discussing it. Okay, few of the things I'll be repeating it as we discussed in my last class, so that a continuity will be maintained, but I'll not give much focused on the last discussions, but I'll rather focus on the other things which are left in the last discussions. So coming to the extramural projects grants, okay, what I'll suggest you that everyone, those who are feeling that the projects writing is very difficult task and how you can succeed into that grant, that will be a very beneficial talk for you if you can understand this part. So going to the before going to the case study, what I'll suggest that for any grant which is coming it है ना, or visible to your Google or visible to the website, what you should do it, you should focus on the grant call है ना. So they will be mentioning the area where you can apply it. And as I discussed in the previous class, if I know the area and I feel that I am not of that area, so what you should do it, you should try to link 20%, 30% of your research domain to the call proposals. Suppose 30% is linked and 70 you can correlate his research or her research area into the call, and then 70% and your 30% can be mapped together to write a joint research proposal. So that is called multi-consortium projects. Okay, so if the PI, co-PI exists from the same institute, that is not a multi-consortium, but even you can take a person from different or organization, and that organization can be divided, the money can be divided or the fund can be divided among different institutions. So the call is, suppose AI, you are not AI expert. So take a person from IITs, NITs, or some other institutes and make him or her as a PI into that proposals. Okay. And you become as a co-PI, divide the fund and do it together. That is called a multi-consortium projects. Okay. Now coming to the next part, there are different types of calls exist. So another call exists is international calls. So in international calls, there will be Indo-Japan call can be there. Then there can be Indo-US call can be there. Then there can be Indo-Canada call can be there. So different calls or money exist by the DST. So every month one call comes. Now, the moment this calls comes, Anna, what you do, you just see the scope of the call, and if you fit inside that, then you try to searching a good researcher from other university abroad. For example, Indo-Japan call has come, so try to refer to the LinkedIn.
Sir,
And
your slide is not changing, sir. It is in the first slide itself.
okay. Just so I think now it is changing it, है ना? So
Yes.
I'm giving a general thing, and I'm giving a general thing before going to this part. So suppose there is a Indo-Japan or Indo-Japan call is there. So Indo-Japan, you should try to find out a best person, best university who is working in your domain, and write a mail to him or her. And if you are writing a mail to 30 professors, at least one professor will reply to you, and then you communicate and start writing a proposals. Okay, and then based on the calls guidelines, you can submit your proposal from both the sides. So these are the different areas by which you can focus on and make a multi-consortium projects, multi-institutional projects, then multi-universities projects, or you can say that you can multi-countries. There is different calls are there where European unions are involved. So you have to involve some European countries together, and the India can be one of the partner. So Indian universities can be one of the partner. Okay. Now coming to in this session, I'll be showing a complete proposals that how a proposal looks like. Okay, so already I discussed that what is the title, okay, what is the abstract, but I didn't discuss about introduction section, literature review, how to frame a research gap, okay, objectives we discussed, methodologies to some extent we discussed, okay. Then these are the very important part, personals, PI, co-PIs and collaborators, how it can be there. Then the budget and budget justification. Then we'll be discussing about Gantt chart, then biography. So these all makes a complete projects proposal. What I discussed in the last class, last session was the important points, but these points are also very important before writing a proposals. So I hope everyone will find it worthy for understanding this session. So again, I am repeating here, time against each sections. So you should give 1 to 2% of your time about the title. So in 100 hours, 2 hours should be spended for a title. Similarly, abstract 5 to 10% is okay. Aims and objective 10 to 15% and so on. Okay. So all these parts has to be written it very clearly, very thought has to be given it, and a very clear understanding has to be there. Then only your proposals has to be there. As I told you, that title should be 10 to 15 words, which I'm revising it. है ना? So the title has to be having a clarity and precisions. It has to be a relevance. It should have innovations. है ना? Scope and specificity has to be there, and the keyword has to be there. Already I have given this examples है ना, about the title, that how this title is very attractive, very informative, है ना, and everything are mentioned in this title. Okay. So similar way about the abstract. So your abstract has to be concise. You use a very simple language. Don't write a hard language where the reviewer cannot understand. And it should be 250 to 300 words, not more than that. Okay. It should be very specifics. And if you recall my studies discussions, it should have a background, it should have a problem, and it should have objectives, it should have a preliminary results, it should have a significance. Okay, so all these things has to be there in your abstract. So when you are writing abstract, you should see that whether background is there or not. If it is not there, write a background. Then if you just see that whether the problem has been identified or not. So once the problem is identified, you just go and see the write the problem of that project's call. All things has to be there. Then only it is going to be a better abstract. And you should always revise and edit. है ना? Focus on the outcomes. What outcomes will be there? So a lot of effort has to be there in the abstract. As I told you, the abstract is a very important. It gives a clear picture what your projects is. Now, coming to the introduction. So I missed this session in the previous because that was not important for studies discussion, but introduction section also plays a very important role, and it should be limited to 1.5 pages or less. Okay. So what I mean by introduction? So introduction of a project's proposal sets the stage for the entire documents. Okay. So it should be very clear and compelling rationale of the projects. It should outline the essential information to engage the reader. So abstract should be just like a story, first page of the story. So first page of story should give in such a way that the reviewer should understand that okay, it is a very good topic, and that is why they will start reading it. Okay. So what you should add in the introduction sections? So you have to give context and background, generally a paragraph, not more than a paragraph. Since I am telling you that it should not increase more than 1.5 pages. Sometimes when we are writing introduction, we use ChatGPT, and ChatGPT can give you a longer length. So what I'll suggest that don't use ChatGPT, use your own language, better language, small sentences, make a connection between each sentences so that the people will understand what you are writing it. So it should have a context and background. So briefly describe the broader context of the problem or opportunity your projects addresses. Okay. Then there has to be a problem statement. Whatever you have written in the abstract, these things has to be elaborated, elaborated in the introduction section. So in the abstract, you have mentioned only one line or two lines of problem statement. Now you try to put it in a one paragraph. Then similarly, the objectives has to be there. So define the primary objectives of your projects. That is very important. And your objective should have some specific things, like what is the specifics in the objective, and that stands for SMART, S. Then is it measurable, then M stands for measurable, A stands for achievable, and R stands for relevant, and T stands for time bound. So when you are writing a objectives, you see each your objectives, whether it is complying with this SMART word or not, whether it is very specific, it is measurable. Okay, measurable in the sense how many patient I am going to cure. Okay, so there is a measurable. Okay, whether it is achievable or not, so just see that whether my objectives can be achieved or not. If I say that I want to go to moon, but I'm not very sure that how I'll be going to moon, so that is not achievable. Then we have to see that whether it is relevant to this call or not, and whether I'm going to finish it in this. So if SMART is there, in your objectives, it means your introduction section will be a better sections, and the reviewer will understand it. Then you have to modify the relevance and importance. Okay, what is the explain why this project is very important and worth pursuing. Discuss the potential benefits and contribution of the projects to the field, community, or industries. See, remember, nowadays all the projects proposals should link to the community. Okay, so if it is not benefiting to the community, and it is not a good proposals. So you should either it should benefit to the community, or it should be benefiting to the industries, or it should be benefiting to the field where you are working at. Okay, suppose you are taking these projects at TRL 3, technology readiness level 3. So that 3 can be modified to 4, 4 can be modified to 5, and at the end TRL 9, the projects can become as a product. So if it is in a product, it can go to industries easily. If it is some TRL 4, 5, 6, it can help to the community, okay, and obviously to the research field where you are working at. Then you have to make a literature review or previous work. So some of the literature part in one paragraph, you should put it, summarize any existing research projects or developments related to your proposal. So what you have done it, you linked your capstone projects, you linked your papers, you linked your some BTech lab projects. So all things can be linked to prove efficacy that you have a potential to do this projects. Then what can be a proposed solution? So provide an overview of your proposed approach or solutions, highlight the innovation and uniqueness of your solution compared to existing methods. So always find what is a research component into this. So research component has to be there, then only your proposal is unique and it is better. Then scope and limitations. So what can be the scope and what can be the limitations while doing the project? So if you are writing it, it will be well understood by the reviewer, and reviewer can pass your projects to a next iterations. Okay, then you have to add stakeholders and beneficiaries. So at the end, who will be the stakeholders involved or impacted by the projects? Discuss who will benefit from the projects and how. Okay, then project structure and methodology has to be there. You have to write in a paragraph that how I am going to plan the different phases and milestones and how I'll achieve it. Then finally, you give a summary, and all should be in 1.5 pages or less. I hope it is clear to everyone. Okay. And this is the way we have to put the introduction. So when you are writing introduction, you write context and background and write a paragraph. Problem statement, write a paragraph. And then you see whether things are mentioned or not as per the mentioned slide and the slide here. Okay. Okay. So for example, I have given some examples also, the context and background. So I'll read one or two. I'll not read complete, otherwise you will feel bored. The rapid advancement in electric vehicle technology have created a significant opportunity to address environmental concern and reduce reliance on fossil fuels. So with this, it is very clear, Anna, that electric vehicle will create a significant opportunity, and it will address the reliance on fossil fuels. Okay. However, the efficiency and reliability of EV's battery remain a critical challenge. So how the efficiency and reliability of EV batteries remains a critical challenge. So you are creating a background, and that background will give a problem statement. So these are the background, and then I'm going to give a problem statement. So here I'm going to write a problem statement. Despite technological progress, the accurate estimation of battery health in EV is still a significant issues, leading to suboptimal performance and higher maintenance cost. Okay. So what I mean to say over here, despite technological progress, okay, the accurate estimation of battery. So I am trying to find out a battery health in EV as a problem statement. Okay. Now, what is my objective? So the projects aims to develop an advanced explainable AI. What is the meaning of explainable AI? Can anyone give in chat? Anyone can give in chat. What is explainable AI? Explainable AI is a black box. ठीक है ना? So AI is a black box. So in explainable AI, it will show you that which of the input parameters is influencing the output. Got my point? So suppose you are taking exams, and in exams you can visualize that ki MST, EST, mid semester exam, end semester exams, quizzes, which is affecting the results better. Okay. So maybe some students EST is better, some students MST is better, some students quiz is better. So based on that, you can visualize each and every effect. But in AI, you cannot see. You can just give the input, it will train the model, and you will be getting output. But in XAI, you are going to see that which parameters is influencing the battery health. So this is a new buzzword, explainable AI. Okay. And if I'm using this for robust health estimation of EV battery, enhancing their longevity and reliability. Suppose if I know that the speed, an increase in speed reduces the battery health. So I'll try to say to the driver that please don't increase the speed, your battery health will get deteriorate. So this type of warning I can give with the help of explainable AI. Now, coming to the context and background. So I'll be writing a context and background. Then I'll give a problem statement. Then I'll give a, sorry, I already told, Hana. Then the next part is what? Relevance and importance. So I'll be adding a relevance and importance. So you just go through it. I'll share you the slide. Literature review or previous work. So what you have to write it, existing models have shown promises but often lack explainability, making it difficult for stakeholders to trust and adopt these solutions. Recent advances in XAI offer new possibilities for transparent and effective battery health estimation. So these type of things has to be written, which creates an awareness to the reviewer that okay, this is a very challenging work, and the people has to, and we have to award these projects. Then you have to give a proposed solution, scope and limitations, stakeholders and beneficiaries. Who are the stakeholders and beneficiaries? Okay. Project's structure and methodology, and summary finally. So in summary, this project seeks to leverage cutting edge XAI technology to address a critical issues in the EV industries, promising substantial benefits in terms of performance, reliability, and user trust. So these are the ways by which we can write it. Okay. Then now introduction is done. Now you try to write a literature's review. In the literature review, you have to make a national and international research work overview. So what is the done in the national level and what research is done in the international level. So you have to mention all these things and it should questions all these things. You have to establish the context and background, justify gaps and justify the research, because from the literature review only you will be able to identify the gaps and you will be justifying your research. Demonstrate knowledge and credibility. So this shows that how much you know about the background. Okay. Now what reviewers looks for in literature review? It should have a comprehensive coverage linked with your call. It should have a critical analysis, give a data, है ना, that this data, this paper gives this data, this research gives this data. So critical analysis has to be there. And at the end, you have to identify the research gaps. So from the literature, you have to put a research gaps. Okay. So I'll just tell you two different things. The literature review in a research paper and literature review in a project's proposal are two different things. In the research paper, you are linking only mostly the research content, research papers. But in the projects call, you can add some of the researches happening in across the country. You can take some industry data. You can take some data from the IITs which they have published openly into their website. है ना? Some of the blogs you can take it. है ना? Some of the industries inputs you can take it. And I said these problems are facing in the industries, and that I am going to link it. So this is the difference between these two. So always you work in a product level and not in a technology. So how your projects can make a technology and technology can make a product. So you have to compare each and everything. For example, if I'm working on a battery, so I'll not read only the papers, research papers related to the battery. I'll also read the blogs by the industries, and that can also be put into the literature. Even I can make a phone call to the industries people and will say that what are the research challenges in the battery, please tell me. And once whatever they are mentioning it, you can make it. You can just have a video lectures from the experts and you can expert and you can just try to find the things and you can put it what are the research gaps, literature review. So all these things can be added into this. Even you are doing some capstone projects and you are finding some difficulties, then can also be kept as in the research gap. Where some difficulties are there, and with these projects you can solve these difficulties. So all these things can be combined together in the literature review. So similarly, you have to do for a national and international, and from the national and international, you have to identify the research gaps. Okay. So these are the examples I have mentioned, research gaps in India. Okay. So what I'll just read the red color text. Lack of region specific data for battery performance. ठीक है ना? So what I'll say, lack of region specific data. I'm developing a battery, but this battery cannot work in Kashmir. This battery cannot work properly in the Kanyakumari because there is a region specific data we are lacking it, and that is why we are not developing a battery properly. Okay. So then second, I can say that infrastructure for large scale data collection analysis. So we don't have a infrastructure, we don't have a cloud for large scale data collection. So these are the things I can add as a problem in my projects. Integration of explainable AI in battery health models. So this also I can add as a research gap in India. Okay. Then I'll make it a research gap internationally. What is the research gap in internationally? So a standardization of battery health metrics. Okay. So battery health metrics is different for lithium, has different chemistries. So I'll be adding a different batteries has different chemistry. So there is no any standardization of battery health metrics. A scalability of battery health estimation model. I cannot, I put my battery health models of a small battery to a larger battery. So how I can make it a scalability? So these are the international and national research gaps. Okay. Now, based on these gaps, Hana, I am creating a objectives. So now I hope you understood what is the difference between, what is the difference between Hello.
You are audible, sir.
Audible. Screen is visible.
Visible, sir. Objectives you are explaining.
Okay. Just
Yeah.
somewhere it is not looking at my place. Ah. Just wait. I'm not able to see my screen. Okay. So now it's visible, I think.
Yes, sir.
So research gaps saves the objectives. So from the research gaps, you are writing these objectives. I'll not read it, है ना? Okay. As already we have mentioned that how to write a research objectives, but it should map. So suppose in the worst case, you are writing your objectives, then you go in a backtrack to map this research of gaps. And from the research gaps, you try to map the literature. And from the literature, you can map to the introduction section. So this way also you can go move back. है ना? And always you have to move back and again come back to the objectives and see all linkings are done or not. So this gives a justification that your proposal is very good and you have made a thorough study and you are making it a proposal. Okay. Then already I told about the methodology, but I'll give some input to for making a better methodology. So what is a methodology? So methodology is nothing but it describes the systematic approach and specific methods used to conduct the research. Okay. So what are the different components you should use it? You can add a research design. Okay. So for methodology, you are again dividing into different work packages. So each work packages should have some components, and in that component, what is your research design? What is the overall strategy and framework of this study? Whether it will be qualitative, quantitative, and mixed methods. So what you are going to make a research design. So always see when you are writing a methodology, whether your research design exists or not. Then you see what is the data collection methods. What are the techniques and tools for gathering data? For example, surveys, experiments, interviews, all these things can be used for a data collection method. Then once the data is collected, you have to make an analysis. So data analysis, what is the procedures for making a data analysis, whether you will be using a statistical method or qualitative analysis. Then how you will be doing a sampling. Data you have, but from that you are going to sample it to understand the target population, sample size, and sampling technique. है ना? Then you have to how you will be doing the instrumentation, how you will be moving to the hardware part. Okay. Then while doing this methodology, what limitations can be there? Okay. And how you will focus, explain how the research will be conducted to ensure validity, reliability, and rigorness है ना, in this projects. So all part has to be done in a methodology. I'll show you some of the projects where you can see how everything is compiled and studied. Okay, so this is the research methodology. So for example, I am writing a title of this project, Assessing the Impact of AI on Electric Vehicle Battery Life. Okay, so how a impact of AI can increase the battery life, electric vehicle battery life. This is the target or the title. So here I am going to write a research design. So what is the research design? This study will use quantitative approach employing experimental methods. Okay. So what I'm do some experiments, and based on that I'll take a analysis, and based on that I'll see that which AI tools I'll be using it. Then the data collection method. So experimental will be there. As I wrote in the starting research design, I'll employ experimental methods. So here I'll measure battery performance metrics using AI algorithms under controlled conditions. Okay. Then I will also use survey. Okay, I'll collect user feedbacks on battery performance from EV users. For example, different car manufacturers are there or car owners are there. I'll just go and take their survey and put it into my data collection methods. Then I'll make a data analysis, sampling, randomly select a sample of EVs from different manufacturers. Okay, so in this way, I'll be taking a larger sample base. Then instrumentation, use validated sensors and data logging tools to monitor battery performance. So how the sensors data will affect the readings. So that also we have to take care of that, how the data logging tools will be used to monitor battery performance. Then ethical considerations. What are the ethical considerations? Ensure user consent and maintain confidentiality of the collected data, because when the data are given by the customers, it has to be very confidentiality, so you have to see the ethical consideration as also. What can be limitations? Possible variability in battery performance due to different driving conditions. So the data which I'll be getting it will be having some differences, and these differences can be a limitation in our projects. Okay, or methodology. Similarly, as I told you in the previous discussion, that how you can make a this type of methodology of the proposed system, you can say that I'll be doing a hardware setup. Okay. Uh, so it will be hardware setup will be there, data acquisition will be there, data pre-processings will be there, machine learning predictive model, and all these things will be there. So whatever I have mentioned here, all things I'm trying to compile it, that this is the process. So generally what it gives that you are very clear on the methodology. The PI and co-PIs knows how you will streamline the work progress. So this gives a confidence. Similarly, I told you that methodology can be written as a work packages, and methodology can be divided into different work packages. So work package 1, work package 2, and so on. Already I mentioned in the previous discussions. Okay, work package 5 and a work package like this. This also the way you can make it. So each work package, suppose I am writing work package 1. So work package 1 can be again divided into different sub work packages. So here I have written work package 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, and so on. So this is the way the work packages are written or mentioned. This gives a confidence to the reviewer how the reviewer will map all these things to format. Similarly, you can write a work package for which are the universities involved and how they will be doing it, and what are the deliverables against each of the work packages. Similarly, work packages can be mentioned like this also, as I told you. Expected outcomes and deliverables already I discussed in the previous class. Okay, then the deliverables, as I told you, it should be very clear. Deliverables, how it can be, the deliverables should give a tangible outcome, that at the end of my projects, what can be the tangible outcome. So if I say that my AI models achieving at least 85% accuracy in battery health estimation, okay, so I'm giving a tangible outcome that my accuracy will be 85% with detailed performance metrics documented in a technical report. Okay, so this will give a clear cut to the reviewer that okay, deliverable is very clear. Then I'll also be working on working prototype, a functioning real-time battery health monitoring prototype demonstrated in a real-world EV scenario. Okay, accompanied by comprehensive implementation documentation. So all these things has to be documented very properly. Then I will be making a validation report detailing the performance of the prototype across diverse conditions. Okay, so all parts has to be documented properly under diverse conditions. So if I go on to the complete projects, it should have an objective. Okay, it should have a methodology, as I have given example here. Okay, na? Then it should have a work package, and work package name has to be given: work package 1, work package 2, work package 3, work package 4, and so on. So generally in a projects proposal, don't keep more than 5 work packages. 5 work packages are sufficient for a less than 1 crore. If it is more than 1 CR and a projects, you can go for 6 work packages at the most. Don't go for 7 or 8 or 9 work packages. This will confuse the reviewer. Okay. Then these are the deliverables, has to be there. So deliverables D1 you are writing, and it should link with the work packages. So comprehensive data set of battery health parameters, it is linked to work package 1. Validated AI model for battery health estimation linked to work package 2, and so on. So you are linking your work packages or deliverables to different work packages. Now, this is the another way of writing the overview of the proposals. So what I mentioned, I'm mentioning a title of the projects here, and each title is divided into different thrust. So thrust means I'm talking about here work packages. So some authors or some persons, they write thrust. Thrust are generally used in US or European countries. Okay. In India, we write work packages, but you can write interchangeably. There is nothing wrong in that. So thrust one is AI driven multi-sensor fusion for EVs. So each thrust has different task 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, 1.4. So how these are interlinked. Similarly, thrust 2 is linked with 3 tasks. So how these are interlinked. Okay. Then what is the project's outcome? So project's outcome will be mapped with this. Similarly, project's phases are there. So these are the project's phases. So all things are very clear. And what is the outcome of this project? So outcome is an efficient battery monitoring and fire prediction model using digital twin and artificial intelligence designed for electric vehicles. So this is the things which I am trying to put it. You can see the title, how the title is very small title. Next generation EV battery health monitoring using digital twins and artificial intelligence. So simple and very effective, and it is communicating to a larger, broader audience. Now, coming to the next part, and that is important, budget. So if you can note down, that will be very good. Suppose you are having a X amount of money you have allocated, or say you are allocating 10 lakhs. So out of 10 lakhs, maximum budget of the manpower can be of 30% of this 10 lakhs. Okay. This is not the example of 10 lakhs, and I am giving you. Then the consumables you can keep as per the requirement or the need of the projects. So generally, any budget of a projects is divided into different parts. So manpower is very mandatory. And in some projects, they do not give a manpower. Okay. So you have to just see the projects call and what are the budget plan they have asked. In some, they will say that I'll not give a travel. Okay. But generally all gives the travel. In some cases, they will not give a permanent equipment. Okay. So what you have to do, you have to judiciously divide the budget heads as per the calls. So manpower should always be less than 30%. Even the permanent equipment should be less than 30%. So these are the thumb rule which you should keep it. Overhead charges for a private colleges, that is not mandatory to keep the amount of the overhead charges, but generally in the government institutes or the IITs, NITs, they charge 20% or 10% of the total project's cost. So year wise, you have to divide it. Year one, this much manpower cost will be there, this much consumables will be there. Year two, year three. Okay. So the allocated budget will cover the procurement of sensors, data analytics tools. So all these things has to be written with the example that why you need this much amount of money. So in the below side, you write a justification. So what is the justification of the manpower? How many JRFs you will take it? How many SRF you will take it? Okay. Even in some cases, they will ask that you give the list of the consumables. Now you can ask me a question that why we need all this justification at the beginning. So it justification shows that you are very confident in handling the projects. The more data you will give it, more justification you will give it, the better the reviewer will think that this person or this PI or this group consortium partner has well thought about this projects and they can deliver these projects well. So you have to give the budgets as per this. Only two thumbs rule are there, that manpower should be less than 30% and permanent equipment has to be there. And this consumable contingencies should be justifiable. Don't keep 60% of the budget to the travel. So that will never be accepted. Okay. So you use judiciously and make it as per the DST norms or the MIT norms or the projects funding agencies norms. Okay. Now coming to the another part, है ना? Suppose few other companies are involved. Suppose some of the industries are also pumping money to the projects. So that is also you have to mention that these are the amount which the industries people will be funding to these projects. So suppose this is 10 lakh funded by the industries, and this is 86 or 88 lakhs funding by to be done by the DST. So this amount and this amount should be mapped to this. Okay. So total amount has to be mapped. Then you write about a manpower. Suppose I have mentioned here the manpower to be 34,05,600. So this should be mapped with this 35,05,60. You can see here at the end corner of this table. So I'm writing that projects associate has to be there, senior projects associate, scientific and administrative assistant field worker will be there. And based on that, I had divided that how much numbers I will be taking it. Year one, how much? In year three, you can see that the amount has increased because every 2 years, there is an increment in the projects assistant part. And there is an increment 25,000 for 2 years, and next 3 years it will go to 28,000 plus 10% HRA. HRA will depend upon the place where you are applying the projects call. So I hope you understood till this budgeting part. Then you are giving a justification of the permanent equipment. Suppose I have given a permanent equipment of 20 lakhs and 20 lakhs, 40 lakhs. So now I'll give a justification of all these parts, that what I'll be taking it and why this is necessary. It all gives you a better picture that the person or the PI co-PIs knows that what to take and what not to take, and they're giving a justification of all these things. Okay. Then you give a tentative consumable list. So I'll give a IGBT stack for inverter and so on, whatever. Hai na? So you give these things, hai na, that how it can be, how much quantity you will be taking it. So this gives a clear picture to the reviewer. Okay. Then the timeline already I discussed. Hai na? This is also called Gantt chart. So Gantt chart gives that how you will be planning for each task or each thrust or each work packages effectively. So you are just underlining that sensor selections will take 3 quarters. Okay. Then optimal sensor placement will take Q1, Q2, Q3, like this. Okay. Of 2025 and so on. Suppose I am using AI-driven multi-sensor fusion, who will be responsible and how much time it will take it. So you are distributing throughout the 3 years span of time and mentioning a timeline. Now coming to the evaluations. Okay. So how you will evaluate it? Now, suppose the projects is given to you. So how you will evaluate it? So evaluation part also to be given in some cases. So you will be writing that regular assessment will be conducted to measure project's milestone with the flexibility to make necessary adjustment for optimal outcomes. So every time evaluation will be conducted. Hai, how you will disseminate the project's work. So dissemination means what? You will be publishing a patent, you will be publishing the papers, research papers, and so on. And based on that, you are going to make a dissemination of the projects, including all the stakeholders and policymakers, researchers, environmental organizations, and so on. Okay? So these are the way you have to mention that how you will disseminate the projects ideas at the end of the projects called. Okay. Now, biographies are again very important. Biographies means what? What is the PI role? Now, suppose I am delivering 1,000 lectures in a year, for example. but my projects is not linked with the delivering of this 1000 lectures in a year. So in that case, I will not mention that. What I will be mentioning it, I will mentioning my research interest, and I will map my research interest to the project's call. Okay. Or whatever is relevant to the research projects on the successful outcome of the projects, that part only I'll be writing it. So I'll be writing my current role and responsibility, educational background, relevant experience linked with the project's call. I'll be giving a key skills and expertise. What is my key skills and expertise linked with this proposal? For example, I am not from AI, and I'm giving the different expertise, and which is not linked with the project's call, then they will feel that the PI or co-PI is not expert in this. I will only mention publication and research linked with that domain. Okay, I'll not be adding other domain. This will confuse the reviewers. Okay, what are the awards and honors I have got it? Okay, what are the professional affiliation like IEEE, ISTE, and others? Okay, what is my contribution to the proposed projects? Contribution to the proposed projects means which work package I am going to responsible. Suppose there are three co-PIs and one PIs. So I'll be trying to find out which PI and which work packages will be handled by which PI and co-PI. So that work package distribution has to be linked with the contribution of the proposed projects by that PI co-PI. Now, references is also very important. Okay. So citations from relevant literature establishes solid foundation for the proposals within existing research. Okay. So I hope these are very clear. Okay. So all these parts, if I make it, it becomes a clear and complete understanding of the project's proposal. So this is my last slide, but the time is still there. If you permit, I'll share some of the project's proposal, complete project proposal. I'll show you to all of you that how the proposal looks at the when you are writing a complete proposals from the title to the end, the references, and how the budget's justifications are given. So I'll stop sharing it.
Sir, you
And
may please share the few examples, sir, because actually our focus was on hands-on session, right? So at least by showing the project proposals, they'll get some idea on
yeah, ma'am. I'm just stopping here, and
yeah,
I'll.
yeah. You may be elaborative even, sir, while
Yeah,
showing
yeah,
the
yeah,
proposal.
yeah, yeah. I'll do all these things. Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, so can you see this file visible? SDBMS.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So if you observe here, Anna, how we have organized. So this is a complete proposals. Here we have written the title, and the title can be written as shortcut also, and SDBMS, but that is not mandatory. You can just write development of a software-defined intelligent battery management system for electric vehicles. Okay. So here we have written the list of participants because it is a multi-consortium projects. So I have mentioned that this is a Thapar Institute of Engineering and Technology, Patiala, which is leading it. And all these colleges, IIT Patna is there, ABB, Triple ITM Gwalior is there, MNIT Bhopal is there. Okay, so these are my partner institute. Now we have taken industries partner also. So these are my industries partner. We have taken it. Why industries partner is necessary? Because when the projects proposal into a consortium projects or a bigger projects, they want that the industries people should also get involved. Ultimately, the goal of this projects was to make a TRL 9 level projects. So in the TRL 9 level, the institute and industry should match together for a common goal, and that goal is the product development in India. And our target was to reduce the Chinese import. So this was the purpose. So this is the list of participants we have mentioned it. You can see here all the proposal has been written in LaTeX. I'll suggest you, if you can learn LaTeX, that is very good. So this proposal is written in the LaTeX. So we wrote origin of the proposals and all these things you can see here, review of status of the research and development in the domain, international status, national status, importance of the proposed work plan. So these are the index page you can just see here. All the expertise of the e-note teams and activity plan. So this is the project's call, and this index was given by the NRF Maha EV mission call. Okay. List of the projects by investigator, facilities by the institutions, all these things has been mentioned. Then we have added acronyms. Okay. That suppose AI artificial, so the way we write in a paper. So all part has been written here so that the people who can see this proposal can visualize and go to any part of this. Okay, na? So we started with the origin of the proposal that was mentioned, and they have mentioned that scientific rationale for doing this work should be elaborated. So we mentioned origin of the proposals in not more than 1 pages. So in 1 pages only origin of the proposal has been mentioned here. Okay. Then coming to the proposed projects, SDBMS addresses several key scientific gaps, and we have mentioned what are the things we'll be doing in this projects. Okay. Then we made a international status review, and in the international review station, we have given the, see here, we have given a references as we mentioned in the paper. So here, not only the research contents, papers contents are given, here we have mentioned that Carl Sruhe Institute of Technology in Germany has also developed advanced Gen AI models. So here we have taken University of Oxford and in the UK, National Renewable Energy Laboratory NERL in the USA. So not only papers, we are finding that what are the research happening across the globe, and we have mentioned over here. Okay. Then we have mentioned about the national status. So how IIT Madras is developing a battery management system, how CECRI is developing the multi-sensor fusion algorithms and so on. So all part we have mentioned it. Now based on these, we have mentioned that what are the problems associating with the existing work, and then based on that we have made a importance of the proposed work. So what I have done, we have linked this part to importance of the proposed work, and here we have mentioned that how this concept and approach of the proposed system will be there, how SDBMS and NRF projects will academia and industry, it will be a joint team, will make a state of the art analysis, industry need analysis, focus group discussion, and all these things, how many partners will be there. And this part we have how it will be linked, who will be responsible for which part. So this you can just see it here. Then we have mentioned novelty of this projects lies in the following areas. Okay, key scientific gaps addressed, we have mentioned it. Then we started with work plan methodology. Okay, so here we mentioned that objective 1 will be achieved here, objective 2, 3, 4, and 5. So 5 objectives we have made it. And based on that 5 objectives, we have mentioned all the 5 objectives here. Okay, what we'll be doing in these objectives. Okay. Then objective one is we have mentioned, and how I'll be achieving this objective, that we have written a detailed methodology. The detailed methodology by giving an example that we'll be taking two-wheeler, three-wheeler, and four-wheeler master slave BMS, and how we'll be monitoring a battery health monitoring. What is the specific outcome? Detailed methodology, ठीक है ना? Two-wheeler, three-wheeler, four-wheeler, what is the specifications we'll be developing it. So this shows that we will be developing two-wheeler for 48 to 72 volt, three-wheeler 48 to 120 volt, and so on. So all part has been mentioned over here. What will be the specific outcomes? What will be the deliverables? What is the key performance indicator? How I'll be knowing that this project's outcome of this work packages. So what will show that the algorithm must be adaptable across two-wheeler, three-wheeler, four-wheeler EVs with 100% compatibility. So these parts, we have mentioned it: balancing time per cell, validation accuracy, and so on. Okay, data acquisition, cloud-based data storage. So all parts we have mentioned about all these sub work packages. ठीक है ना? So you can just see here we have mentioned. Similarly for objective 2.1, development of DT model, digital twin model. So all power portion we have mentioned over here, KPIs for all the work packages. Objective 3 here, है ना? We have mentioned what are the steps we'll be doing it, है ना? Okay. So you can just see here for all the 5 work packages, है ना? Then each work packages is divided into some different milestone. So 1.1, 1.2, 1. So 4 milestone has been divided. So what will be doing it? What is the start month? What is the end date? And then duration of this projects, ठीक है ना? Of this milestone. So all part has been mentioned and accumulated here, that will be doing in some in 2 months, some in 3 months, and so on. Suggested plan of action, how we'll be making it, है ना, to achieve these objectives. Then I am defining work packages. So work package 1 we have kept as a projects management, that how the complete projects will be managed, because this proposal we mentioned about around 9 crore. So work package 1, projects management, how we'll be doing it. You can see how the diagrams are mentioned, which gives you a clear picture that the PI co-PIs are well versed, है ना, with this technology, and it's well coordinated. Even it is mentioned somewhere that who will be doing which work, है ना, ठीक है ना? So I'll show you that how this is linked with this. So all the work packages are divided into task. So you can just see here. So the budget allocation, so TIT, since it was leading, so it has taken as a 6.34 crore, and the remaining has been divided accordingly, and the total budget was of 8.27 crore. Na? So justification, we have given higher budget allocation to TIT. So why this higher budget allocation to Thapar? So that all we have mentioned it. Okay. Then what is the cash and in-kind contribution of the industries? Okay, so that we have mentioned. Okay, projects milestone. Okay, year 1 foundation and initial development. So these are the timelines. Then planned activities, how we'll be planning it. Then technology and product development. So TRL 7 to TRL 9. So we have mentioned about TRL 9. Okay, then need, risk, market opportunities. Okay, innovation, entrepreneurship, and startup ecosystem, how this can be take the lead on the innovation. So all this part we have written it. How many HRD and skill development will be there? So that all we have mentioned it. How it will be a national and international collaboration. So international collaboration we have written University of California, German Aerospace Center, LG Chem. So all these things we have written it. Industries collaboration, we made a NDA with Tata Motors, Escort Tractors, and Leica Battery, and all these things were part. है ना? Future collaborations, these are the deliverables which we have written, short-term deliverable, and this is the long-term deliverables. That was a part of the project's proposal. Then which are the facilities we have existing? and this is the plant facilities. Okay, then expertise of e-note system. So we have mentioned the biography, as I told you, biography. So I have written about myself. Okay, then the other co-PIs, then this is the third co-PIs, PIs. Then from IIT Patna, who will be involved. Okay, then from the Gwalior team, these people will be involved. Then Manit Bhopal, these people will be involved. Then the rules and responsibility of each. So TIT Patiala will be involved in work package 2 and work package 6. Similarly, Manit Bhopal will be completely involving in work package 3. Gwalior will be involving in work package 4. Okay, and Patna will be involved in work package 5, and so on. And how these industries partner will be linking to this. So these are the key publications by the research team. So all only relevant research items which is linked to this project's call, and we have mentioned about here. Okay. Then this is the bibliography references. So I hope this is the activity plan and how we have made it. So how all partner will be linked. This is also called Gantt chart. How management plan will be there, how TIT will be leading it, and how it will be coordinating all the consortium partners. So we have mentioned all this part, lead by TIT, and it will be partnered by 3 academic and rest others industries partner. So we have mentioned about each and every how revenue generation and sustainability will be there. So these are the list of the projects which we have already handled, completed projects, facilities by the institutions. So we have written that TIT has the following things. Triple ITM Gwalior has the following things. Manit Bhopal and IIT Patna has following things. Okay. Equipment, then we have given equipment list with the TITs. Then name and address of the, yes, please come. So name and address of the export institutions involved here. Okay, na? So these are the things which this is the final part of the call. So I hope you have seen that how much efforts we have done in writing these proposals, and this proposal is made in LaTeX. And if you do this much of effort, I'm very much sure that your proposal will be accepted for next review. So I hope I have many more proposals to show, but I think this is a complete proposal where you can get some more benefits out of this. So now waiting for your questions.
Yeah, participants may please drop your questions in chat box. What tool is used to draw the diagrams?
So I'll go one by one.
So,
Which tool we use to draw the diagrams? So in the diagrams, you can make many methods, many tools are available. What we draw, we use e-draw tool, e-draw tool, but you can use MS also, MS Office also, and in MS Office also you can do it. E-draw is there. Then there are many online softwares are there where you can draw the tools. So for diagram drawing is not a issues. You can take any online system and you can draw it. Then is it action plan? Yeah, that is the action plan which I shown you, that how we'll be achieving the milestone and other things. Then is it mandatory to include all these details in the proposals? See, this call was a larger call, and in the larger call, all this information was mentioned that you have to add it. but generally at least 70 to 80% of the information is asked by the small call. So it depends upon the call and call's requirement. So what you have to do it, you just see the calls, see their structure, but basically 80% of the content will be there, similar things will be there, in all the call for proposals. Okay, then is it, then is there any institute weightage for accepting proposal? No, there is nothing like that institute weightage is there. It all because the projects is given to PI, not the institute. Remember it. If the PI is good, if he is presenting in a good way, your proposal will be accepted. So institute has no any weightage at all. The projects agency, funding agency is not giving money to IITians being a IIT because his proposal is very good and that is why they are giving to the PI. Suppose you have got a project, Sana, being in one institute, and very next day you want to move to another institute. So your funding can be transferred to that institute. So it is not a institute dependence or no institute weightage is there. Then why the papers are rejected even though it is good, Hana? So again, the same thing, you have asked a questions, why the papers are rejected? Because you are not understanding that others' papers are better than yours. That is why it is rejected. Na? So you have to make a thought process that what mistakes you are doing it. How to get problem statement for prototype projects unique based on electrical and mechanical rated projects. This you need to search, Hana. You need to show your interest, and based on the interest, you have to find a prototype projects. So there are n number of problems exist in the industries even. If you are free, you can call to industries and say that, do you have a problem related to electrical and mechanical problems? They will give you 100 problems. You take any one problem and that you start writing the proposals and give it to the funding agencies and they will give it. Even many industries will give you a funding. Because if you can do it, if you can say that I can do the projects for TRL 9, so before TRL 9, you understand what TRL 9 is there. And then you say that, okay, I can write a proposal, you give me a funding, and industries are ready to give a fund. Only you have to put it in a better format and you have to be confident into that. Sir, can you provide any open link to submit this proposal for this year? Okay, I'll share to the organizers. And this year, a lot of calls are there. In social sciences and DST, etc., it is known that generally proposals are accepted by IITs, university staff when compared to private. No, it's very wrong concept, wrong notions. This is only myths. DST accepts a good proposal, and if your good proposal is there, it will be accepted. If you write better than IITs or good universities, your proposal will be accepted. Then how much to allocate if needs to attend conferences in foreign countries? If my proposal budget go waste, will they reimburse? See, only international projects call like Indo-Japan, Indo-Canada, Indo-US is eligible for foreign countries conference visit. Otherwise, all national projects, they will never allowed to go from the projects fund to the conference, attending the conferences. Okay. So if you are planning to move to attend the conferences in foreign countries, you have to write a international projects call. Okay, and you can find on the DST website. What are the areas in the CSE where the acceptance of the proposal will be high? CSE is a very hot topic. Okay. And in CSE, any areas you can add it. Medical system, you can add it. So you can collaborate with some doctors and try to use some AI ML. So AI ML is a buzzword nowadays. If you feel that, then you can go for a predictive modeling. You are trying to predict the future of the any devices. So predictive modeling is there, digital twin is there, XAI is there, explainable AI is there, no doubt. So these are the different areas where you can go. You can go to data analytics. So many areas are there wherein you can put your proposals. So I think this is the last questions. For writing journal reviews, what are the sections headings to include? It is for writing journal reviews. You can add introduction, abstract, methodology, then mathematical modeling, and then literature survey. All these things part you can add it. है ना? So just refer a good transactions paper or journal paper and see what are the contents they ask. Quantum computing, a very good questions, है ना? So quantum computing is one of the new things, and people says that as CSE is very common nowadays. So in next 5 to 10 years, quantum computing is coming into the market. So even the many institutes will be there, that Quantum Computing of India or Indian Institutes of Quantum Computing. So this is going to come. So I am not very expert in quantum computing, but you can explore always from the Google that what is quantum computing. But it has a very bright futures, quantum computing. Any other questions? So if my projects is not actively done and lagging, will they stop budget? Generally they don't do. Okay, but you can ask a time. Suppose you need your projects was of 3 years, and you are not able to do it in time. You can ask for a time and they will give it. How many papers should have when we are writing for the first time? It's nothing requirement of the papers. Sana, 1 or 2 papers will be sufficient. You can link your work with some capstone projects, BTech projects. All these things can be linked for writing a projects for the first time. But there is no any compulsory things. Money, you have to prove yourself that you can do these projects, and for that you can do anything. It is not only one papers is sufficient. Even though a person has a good amount of papers, but it is not presented well, they have not presented well, and that is why it is not reviewed. So you write, go on the content, and then give some supporting documents which shows that you are good in this area. Okay, still young scientist funding given by SERB. See, SERB is changed to ANRF. Okay, so nowadays all the things are moved to ANRF. So you can just go and search the ANRF, and you will find a lot of uh, calls. So all the calls are coming now. You can just see that site. Maybe while writing a proposal, maybe writing a proposals, we may not sure at last whether the projects will be feasible to implement in real world or not. In that case, how to write a proposal. So in a physical world, when you are putting it real world, that is called TRL 9. Real world means you are selling your prototype to the market or product to the market. So you try to see a proposals or call where they are asking for basic science, or just prototype development. So if the prototype development is there, that can be called to be TRL 3 or TRL 4 level. So I think that is sufficient. After review and approval from experts, paper submitted but not accepted by ICCR. So I don't know which journal is this, but generally a good journal do not do like this. When they review and approved from the experts, it has to be accepted. Maybe this is a non-ACI journals, ICSSR, maybe a non-ACI journal. Is there any platform to get a collaboration with my specific area? See, there is no any specific platform. You have to see your expertise and try to search with some other universities experts, and you just mail them. Mailing is a very good tool. You mail that my interest is this, I want to collaborate with you. Shall we write a project proposal? And if you are applying to 30, 40, yeah, surely you will get one at least. Funding projects, sir. Why I didn't get. What do you mean by funding projects?
Sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to tell the participants that tomorrow's session is totally on the awareness of various funding agencies. What are the types of funding agencies and what are the calls which are going on, and throughout the year, like what are the funding agencies which are going to be lined up. Participants may please ask regarding the projects. So actually, when you asked, like when you were telling about like whether you can share the project proposal and all, as you were always like saying this, that only IITs or NITs will get the projects and private engineering college do not get, this is a myth. After seeing the project, sir, maybe most of the participants will agree that it is only a myth. Because if the project proposal is written so elaborately with so clarity and with very good collaboration, that too technically, like when the work packages are clearly, what do we say, like categorized and they have been given, sir, I think anybody will have equal chances, fair chances to get the project.
Correct, ma'am. Correct, ma'am. Actually, see, I am not from IITs, but still, I have more than IITians professors, the number of proposals, if you can count it.
Yes, sir.
So
Actually, I
still,
know it, sir, but I wanted you to be in the FTP only because of that reason. And I also want to mention that sir is so passionate that, like, when I have attended one of sir's offline FDP, like, he made us to write the objective. He gave some task and he made us to write the objective. And he's so passionate to be interactive. Always, like, he was ready to take the questions. And I have not seen a person so like having 23 crores of project and being so humble.
thank you, ma'am. So I think one question is there, is proposal in social science are less accepted? It's nothing like that. Nowadays, social science are also very getting a popular, and only you have to pitch very properly. If you can pitch, your proposal will be accepted. So if no questions, then I think we
Yes,
can
sir.
end the sessions.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. We will end the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Ma'am, shall I end the session?
Ramesh, you can end the session. Why? Because
Okay. Ending.